Before we do presentations, we've got great presentations today, but I wanted to take a minute. Members know that before we went on recess, we had started a practice of documenting and telling the stories and hearing from our constituents that were victim and caught in the siege that has been on this city by the federal government in the name of immigration reform. We got a restraining order and the raids calmed down for, 10 or 11 days. And it seemed like just as we came back to council, they started back up. So as long as these masked men are in our streets, harassing and abducting our neighbors, we're going to take a minute at the beginning of every meeting and put on the record what is happening in our city and our opposition to it. And so this morning, we'll hear from Councilmember McCosker from the 15th District, and we will do so every morning until this siege is over. Mr. McCosker.
Thank you, Council President and colleagues. I have a particularly disturbing story of an incident that happened this morning, and I know that we all have these disturbing arrests, apparently unconstitutional and unjustified. In our district, as many of you have, we have a great group of community volunteers called the Harbor Area Peace Patrol. And it is many, many dozens of folks who convene every day in the district, and they begin at the Coast Guard station on Terminal Island, where information such that it's available to us tells us that 200 to 250 ICE agents and other federal agents stage there on the Coast Guard station. And Council President, you joined me in a press conference with other elected officials demanding that ICE get off of the island. This morning, in what was the normal and I will say effective operation of these peace patrollers monitoring cars coming and going, and by monitoring I say lawfully protesting and lawfully recording the movements of cars, one of the peace patrollers, and it doesn't matter whether it's a resident or a U.S. citizen, but in this case it was a U.S. citizen, was arrested, was, on my observation of limited information, videotape, was brutally, aggressively taken down and put into a vehicle and spirited it away. Agents, when other peace patrollers sought information and kept a lawful, safe, but short distance from officers and asked questions, other peace patrollers had guns drawn on them. And this person was taken away after what I would characterize, with a lot of years in this business, as a very aggressive, unreasonable use of force on this human being. Was taken away, and we do not know, because I don't have the complete information, where the person was taken, but I have reported this action to Port Police, and Port Police, who has the jurisdiction for the island, is looking into all of the circumstances of the arrest. They did not have a personal eyewitness account of this arrest, which I will say that all of my observation and knowledge of the situation tells me is yet again another intentional violation of the TRO and an unconstitutional action by federal officers. And I believe the reason why this person was arrested and why guns were drawn on the peace patrollers is because they have been effective. They have been effective witnesses to actions, and I believe they have prevented more of these unconstitutional violations of residents' rights. So I'm just here to report that we do have this great group in the harbor area who is doing excellent work, and because of their excellent work, I believe the federal agents intentionally are intimidating and trying to drive this group off of the island. I'm quite sure they won't be intimidated, but I'm also disturbed that this appears to be permissible all the way to the White House. And we need to stay firm. I know we all will stay firm on the litigation, but we need to prevent these unconstitutional violations of people's rights. We need to continue to stick up for the rights of all residents in our county. Thank you, members, for giving me a chance to talk about the excellent work of the Peace Patrol on this somber morning where one member who was acting peacefully was arrested. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. McCosker, and we'll call on members of this council if you have a story or have families or individuals that wish to come in and tell their story at this time of the meeting. Please notify us, and we'll make way for that in every council meeting until we end the siege on our city.
Colleagues, Ohio. Good morning. It's wonderful to start our morning off in thanking and recognizing an individual that has helped us bridge cultural divides and has become such an important part of the fabric of Los Angeles. And I'm talking about none other than our Consul General Kenko Sone of Japan. Please give him a round of applause.
I had the today, I know you're not a stranger to my district. You really took on the role of being the representative here in Los Angeles for Japan, and thank you. I remember when we met, I continue seeing you, but again, thank you for all your service thus far.
Boxing tournament, and he won. That victory was his 10th national championship that Carlos Jr. has won. Being a student athlete is challenging, and when a young person can balance all of those things amid numerous distractions, it truly deserves recognition. It's a testament to the discipline that he has that has led to success. In council,
that we have good parks, so continue to stay in touch, continue to be champs, and best of luck to you with whatever you do with your...
Just like this. At a moment in time when our city and our country continues to reel from the very destructive individual that has been central to the success of this work, helping to lead the Youth Development Department from inception.
Our students to the chambers because they have lots of good ideas, and I hope that they're encouraged to share them with you. So USC is a proud community.
To help inspire this work, I hope we are all equally inspired to ensure.
One final announcement before we begin. I see some new faces. I know that it was a full house earlier today. I appreciate everybody's patience during this public comment period. You may have noticed, and we have received some complaints from members of the audience about some other members of the audience. While the Brown Act does not require certain individuals to, we'll say, have shame or even be decent during these meetings, it also does not require you, members of the audience, to listen to public comment. So if at any point you find that there's something that offends you deeply, or if you have children here, I would note that I think the children are not here anymore, but we had dozens of children earlier on. You're more than welcome to step out of the room. You're more than welcome to put your fingers in your ears if you'd like, but we appreciate your patience. The fastest way to get through it is to just let these people speak. So with that, we can begin public comment.
We'll begin calling names. Candido, Jesse G., Elias, and Eddie A.
Mr. Herman, you have 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead.
Órale putos. Muchas gracias para todo. Translation, nigga.
Hello, faggots. Thank you so much for everything.
The point here today is the epithet word, N and C, which today the public still don't understand what you mean by that. But in my hand, I brought the issue once again for the 5th or 10,000th time. Brandenburg versus Ohio, 395 U.S., 444, 1969. And I've been declared disruptive because I got my G thing on, foos. So the whole point here, I'll read it into the record politely, just for all the faggots to hear. A dirty nigger send the Jews back to Israel.
Okay, so sorry, sir. I'm going to pause your time. Speaker, you were previously warned for using the N-word or its variations. It's a violation of Council Rule 7. Your continued use of the N-word has actually disrupted this meeting, as I've had to stop the meeting to warn you not to violate Council Rule 7. You've now forfeited your speaking time. And if you disrupt the meeting again, you'll be subject to removal and exclusion. Thank you. Next speaker. Next speaker. Next speaker.
Mr. Herman, you have been warned. Do not disrupt this meeting again. Vacate the podium now so we can move on to the next speaker. If you continue to disrupt this meeting, you will be subject to removal and exclusion. Good morning, Mr. Candido.
Good morning,
You have 1
sir.
minute.
Candido Maris, resident of Porter Ranch. I took a bath this morning. Water was on in my area. And also who has loved Van Nuys for the last 55 years. And Ms. Padilla, you're doing a great job with the parking. Ms. Padilla, the parking situation in your area, you're doing a great job with that, ma'am. I'd like to speak public comment, sir.
Yes, you're in public comment now.
Okay. Last week I brought photos of all the fireworks and all the things that are being done in Porter Ranch. We have fires all around. Today I would like to submit under Porter Ranch City Council Fire 2020 question mark. Here are two of the small fires that have already taken place. This is the bonfire that's going to take place there. We're just waiting for this. The perfect storm is going to hit Porter Ranch, and we're going to have the winds, the heat, and no water. And what are you guys going to say?
So, Mr. Candido, your time has expired. If you have something to hand to the sergeants, you can do so at the aisle. Next speaker. Yes. So, Mr. Candido, we told Mr. Herman we need you to vacate the podium so we can move on to the next public speaker. Okay, Mr. Candido, this is your only formal warning. Please vacate the podium so that we can move on to the next speaker.
Sorry.
Hello, I'm
If I
Eddie.
could, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Apologies. We'll restart your time. If anyone else is here who wants to speak who hasn't signed up, we have a lot of names that are clearly fake names. But if you're here to speak and you haven't heard your name called, make sure you've signed up in the kiosks in the back, and we'll call your name. I just want to make sure everybody knows. We have a lot of names here, but they're not. Many of them are just bad words. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. I'm Eddie, one of the primary organizers of the 535 Alameda Street protests. It's a 24-hour, 7 days a week protest that started June 11th. I formally invite you, council members, to visit us. We are grateful to Jurado for speaking to us yesterday, and David from the Soto Martinez camp. Thank you for speaking to us. We, the people, are joining together to fight against Donald Trump's regime. Not just Trump, but everyone that is complicit to his policies. I won't give him that much credit because he didn't come up with it, but he is the cult leader. I know you have heard the news on August 5th. He's taking the Olympics from you. He's taking the Olympics from you. I know how important the Olympics are to you guys, and we need to fight this. You guys are merely city council, I understand, but you are the city council of one of the largest economies of the country. Join us in fighting for the rest of the country. What you do is going to impact what everybody else does across the country. Please help us.
Thank you.
Dana, 我们还能不能再见面？我在佛前苦苦求了几千年，愿意用几世换我们一世情缘，希望可以感动上天。我们还能不能再见面？我在佛前苦苦求了几千年，当我在踏过这条奈何桥之前，让我再吻一吻你的脸。Thank you very much, Council Member Smoking Scan, our attorney Smoking Scan, and hopefully that every single family member of Smoking Scan and Dana knows that Council Member Spindler will defeat Hernandez in the City 1 election 2026.
Next speaker.
I would like each of you to personally issue statements asking the governor to send criminal investigators from the National Guard to look into extreme police misconduct in this city and elsewhere. This will cost residents nothing. The police are refusing to make required records. They are refusing to do serious investigations. Normal oversight has failed. I believe that only the National Guard is sufficiently insulated from outside duress to conduct a legitimate investigation of police misconduct. If you are unwilling to take this modest protest no-cost action to protect vulnerable people. Please tell the public your reason. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello, can you hear me okay? So my name is Taylor. I'm an organizer at 535 North Alameda Street, the 24-hour protest, 24/7 protest, I should say. I would like to build a bridge with the politicians and the protesters and the activists and the LAPD, because we cannot all fight fascism separately. We need to build bridges and learn to trust each other and communicate well with each other and turn a blind eye to some things. Law enforcement cannot interfere with federal law agencies, and I understand that, but we, the brave people of Los Angeles, we will do that. But we need certain protections, we need certain understandings, and we need to know certain rules. So I encourage you to come down to 535 North Alameda Street, and I encourage you to answer your emails and your phone calls, and let's get a meeting on the books. Like, time is literally ticking. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Speaker. And I believe that's our last speaker for today. So we've exhausted public comment. I'm now going to close public comment for today's meeting.